We are going to continue on with the lesson that Yahweh had us on last night, the night part of the Shabbat, and it's entitled, That Day Was the Preparation Day. That day was the preparation day. And we are going to start out in Nehemiah or Nehemiah, which is in the Old Testament, chapter 13. So that day being a preparation day is a lesson where Yahweh is showing us that He has showed us that we need to plan and we need to prepare for meetings with Him. And whether they're the weekly Shabbat, or they're the yearly Shabbat, or they're special events and meetings with Him, Yahweh showed us that we need to get ready and we need to be prepared.
Yeah.
And we had started out in Exodus, the 19th chapter, where Yahweh told the children of Israel to be ready against the third Yowm or day. For the third day, Yahweh will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. And so we looked at the fact that the word day in Hebrew does not mean a literal 24-hour period. It can mean a year, it can mean a period of time. It just means Yahweh says, prepare and get not only the place where you're going to meet ready, but get yourself ready to meet with Yahweh and take as much time as it needs to get it done. Because He says, when the preparation day is over, you're done preparing. So this is what this lesson is about. And we, having come out of the world, we've been used to doing everything 7 days a week or when we felt like doing it. But Yahweh is now called us and letting us know what's right and what's wrong. And He's showing us that there are certain things that need to be done on the preparation day, again, which is a period of time before you actually come together and meet with Yahweh.
That's right.
Let's start in Nehemiah or Nehemiah, which is in the Old Testament. We're going to start in the 10th chapter. We read this last night, but we want to read it again because this is one of the books where our forefathers had been in captivity and they were in Babylonian captivity, which transferred to the Medes and Persians and etc. So Yahweh was taking them back to the land, and Yahweh is showing us when we're in captivity, we get influenced by what's going on around us.
That's right.
And most people are doing things according to what they think they should be doing them. So Yahweh has to retrain us and let us know this is how you really should do it. And He specifically said that day was a preparation day. So He's looking at what we do on the preparation day. So we're in Nehemiah the 10th chapter. We're going to read verse 31, but last night the Ruach said the preparation day is for us to shower, to wash ourselves, to wash our hair, and to personally groom ourselves. So we don't do that on the weekly Shabbat.
We do not
do that on the high holy day. We don't do that on the day of the meeting with Yahweh. We do that on the preparation day, which is before we actually meet with Yahweh. The preparation day is for men to trim their beards, their hairs, to make their barbershop appointments and get it done. For women to shampoo their hair, to get their nails done if they want them done, to make their beauty shop appointments. It's for ironing your clothes. And it's for picking up what you need to pick up that's regarding you and your secular business. Alright? The preparation day is for buying and selling, which we're going to look at in Nehemiah, the 10th chapter, in verse 31. It's for putting gas in your car. So just because I come to the temple, I don't wait till the Shabbat or the high holy day. Put gas in my car. I put it in on the preparation day, which is before the meeting. It's for adding money to your Ventra card. And it's for buying train tickets. All right, so we have some people that are coming from afar. They don't wait till the weekly Shabbat and go to the station and buy their train ticket. They buy it ahead of time.
Hallelujah.
All right. Because they understand Nehemiah 10. Let's read verse 31, please. Nehemiah 10 and verse 31.
Read, Yahweh.
And if the people of the land bring ware or any victuals on the Sabbath day to sell, that we would not buy, if of them on the Shabbat or on the holy day, and that we would leave the 7th year and the exaction of every day.
All right, and it says if outsiders, strangers, well, we got estranged from Yahweh, so we were strangers, so he's telling us this to bring it back to our memory, and sometimes, even after we have been in this a long time, we still have to course correct and come back, because we can fall back into doing the same habits we used to have. If the people of the land bring ware or victuals on the Shabbat Yom to do what? To sell, that we would not buy it of them on the Shabbat.
Okay.
Not that we can't buy it, but we won't buy it on the Shabbat or on Hakadash Yom, on the holy day. So Yahweh is having his people come into a covenant, which is a covenant with him, come back to start doing what's right in his sight. And he set this day aside. He rested on this day, the weekly Shabbat, and he also set the holy days aside, and he set the meetings that we will have with him, official meetings aside, and he said, this is what you do to get ready for that. All right? We're in Nehemiah. Let's go to the 13th chapter. Nehemiah, the 13th chapter. So he said we need to come into covenant with this thing and understand we are the people of Yahweh, and this is how we're supposed to do.
Yahweh.
Regardless of what other people are doing. When you go outside that door, you're going to see people running to and fro, buying and selling. They're doing all kinds of things. They're getting their cars fixed. They're at the beauty shop getting their hair done. They're at the barber getting their hair cut. So we are not of those people anymore.
Not anymore. Praise to my God.
All right, Nehemiah 13. We want to start at verse 14.
Hallelujah.
Nehemiah 13, and let's start at verse 14, please.
Remember me, O my Elohim, concerning this, and wipe not out my good deeds that I have done for the house of my Elohim and for the offices thereof.
Now here's this Sadiq, righteous man of Yahweh. He's saying, Father Yahweh, remember me, because I'm reminding your people and I'm bringing them back to what you instructed them to do. He said, remember me, O my Elohim, concerning this, and wipe not out my told deeds I have done for Habayat of my Elohim. So we understand this is Yahweh's house.
That's right.
My house at home is Yahweh's house. My car is Yahweh's car. Whatever I have is Yahweh's. Why? Because I don't own anything. I don't even own myself now.
Not anymore.
Yahweh said he bought me.
Yes, he did.
And in this world, we start to think, oh, this is mine and that's mine. But Yahweh said, not even my breath is mine. So when we come to understand stewardship, like this righteous man of Yahweh does, then we point people's face back to Yahweh to let them know that Yahweh has total control of everything.
Yes, he does.
He's just nice enough to let me use my house for a while and let me drive my car for a while. All right? And he doesn't offer all these restrictions except don't put gas in it on the Shabbat day, don't do other things. All right? Verse 15.
In those days saw I in Judah some threading wine presses on the Sabbath, and bring in sheaves and lay donkeys, as also wine, grapes, and figs, and all manner of burdens, which they brought unto Jerusalem on the Sabbath day. And I testified against them in the day wherein they sold victuals.
All right, so now Nehemiah just said, Yahweh, remember me and don't wipe out my good deeds. Here's part of what he's talking about. In those Yom I saw Israel, Yehudah, the priestly tribe, the ones that are supposed to be, all of Israel is supposed to be doing what Yahweh said, but the priestly tribe, Yehudah, Benjamin, and part Levi, they're really supposed to be on it. And when people look at them doing the right thing. In those days I saw Yehudah, some treading Yain presses on the Shabbat, so they were working. Or they were making wine for themselves. Either way, it was something they weren't supposed to do. And bringing in sheaves and lading donkeys, Also yain, grapes and figs, and all manner of burdens.
Burdens.
And as the Ruach said last night when we discussed, it's not a burden to bring your Bible and your briefcase and your laptop so you can go to the scriptures to the temple on the Shabbat day. But it is a burden if you want to donate something to somebody, like a mixer or something, and then you go to their house on the Shabbat day and you take that mixer with you. That's a burden.
Okay.
All right. It says, and they brought it in to Jerusalem on the Shabbat Yowm. That's what made it a sin.
Okay.
The specific day that Yahweh described in detail what you are and are not to do. This was supposed to have been done on the preparation day. All right. And it says this man of Yahweh testified against them.
Okay.
On Hayam, wherein they sold victuals, so they were buying and selling. They made some fish dinners or they made something, and they're buying and selling it. So Yahweh said, no, don't do that. You have some people that are buying and selling the word of Yahweh, which you could watch TV or whatever, and you could see a CD that you want to buy or a DVD. Don't get on the phone and order that on the Shabbat day, Yahweh is saying. Take down the number and take down whatever. After the Shabbat is over or before the Shabbat begins, then you call that place and you order your DVD and you order your CD. All right, verse 16.
There dwelt men of Tyre also therein, which brought fish and all manner of ware and sold on the Shabbat unto the children of Judah and in Jerusalem.
All right, so now they wouldn't have been there if there wasn't somebody buying.
Right.
There's one thing about our people, they will spend money.
Yeah.
I was thinking this morning about this Popeyes that's been down the street. And they're flourishing. Why? Because they're in Israel's neighborhood. And Israel will spend money. They'll buy that chicken or whatever it is they like. Well, they've had chicken places in other neighborhoods, like there was one in Skokie, and it's out of business. So because Israel will spend their money. Well, Yahweh is saying there was men of Tyre who were Hamites. They came into Jerusalem on the Shabbat day. They sold fish and all kind of cookware or pots and pans or whatever. And they sold it on the Shabbat. Who was buying it? Israel was buying it. So again, this is what happens when we're in captivity. We kind of float away and then it gets to be our mind tells us it's not as serious, or that somehow Yahweh has changed. No, He hasn't. And I was also, the Ruach was quickening to me where they used to call my Iysh a Pharisee. Why? Because Yahweh sharpened His skills on the Shabbat, and He just delivered it just like Nehemiah, we're going to see, delivered it. And He saw Yahweh didn't change. It's just being in captivity. We're surrounded by people doing whatever they want to do. And then our flesh kind of forgets what Yahweh originally told us. Yahweh said, return to your first love. Be as fervent as you were the first time you heard this. He said they were selling on the Shabbat until Haban of Yehuda and in Jerusalem. So nobody can come up in this temple or any other temple of Yahweh on the Shabbat and sell stuff. We had an incident a couple of weeks back where there was somebody trying to sell stuff, telling us about a work venture that they had. Don't talk about that on the Shabbat. You take people's names and numbers. If you want to talk about it after the Shabbat to them, they want to talk to you, that's you. But Yahweh had us curtail it here at the temple. All right, because of these scriptures. Verse 17.
Then I contended with the nobles of Judah, and said unto them, what evil thing is this that ye do, and profane the Sabbath?
So Nehemiah came right out. He said it's evil. It's not great. I was on the phone and talking to this brother, and I was listening to this esteemed lawyer, and he said the longer I live, the more I understand things are not black or white, they're gray. No, they're not. Out there, they're gray. In other words, they're relative. Oh, it depends on the circumstance, or it depends on what's going on with me. No, it doesn't. It depends on what Yahweh said. He said that I contended. I stood up against the nobles of Yehuda, and I amarred to them, what ra or evil thing is this that you do. He didn't say, oh, well, you know what, I understand your situation is a little different. No, he didn't. And he's speaking for Yahweh.
You stand for dust, Yahweh.
He said, what evil thing is this that you do, and you profane the Shabbat day.
Shabbat.
And it's even worse when I stand up and I'm calling myself Israel.
Okay.
And look at me, and then I profane or do the things that Yahweh said not to do on the Shabbat day.
That's like it is, bro.
So again, in captivity we can drift.
Yep.
But Yahweh said course correct. Get back on the straight and narrow path.
That's it.
All right, there's another way to do whatever it is you need to do, and Yahweh will show it to you when you start looking for it.
Hallelujah.
You can't do it. Don't presume. We looked at this man last night.
Right.
He presumed and assumed he could do something. He went out gathering sticks on the Shabbat day, and the congregation saw him. It wasn't the leaders that saw him. The congregation saw him. What did they do? They took him to the leaders. And they said, hey, here, Moshe and Aharon, this man was gathering sticks on the Shabbat. So they knew that it was wrong. Right. Because Yahweh had taught them after coming out of Egyptian captivity, where they had drifted, and Yahweh was setting them back right. They said, okay, this man's doing wrong.
Okay.
They took him to the leaders, and then the leaders said, you know what, we got to just put him somewhere and keep him until we can ask Yahweh what to do.
Okay.
And Yahweh said, oh, you know, he just came out of captivity. No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
What did he say? Stone him with stones, not just a little bit till he hurts, till he dies. Why? Because there's more at stake than what I want to do on Yahweh's Shabbat.
Right.
There's more at stake than me wanting to be right and trying to prove Yahweh has a loophole for me. People's lives are at stake.
Right.
The lake of fire of the kingdom is at stake.
Y'all
That's why he says stone
like
with stones. All right, verse 18.
Did not your fathers thus, and did not our Elohim bring all this evil upon us and upon this city? Yet ye bring more wrath upon Israel by profaning the Sabbath.
So now he's letting them know the reason you're coming out of captivity is because your forefathers were breaking the Shabbat.
Right.
He said, did not your Abba thus? So in other words, if we wonder what it was that really ticked Yahweh off, that really tipped the scales to him saying that's enough. I'm scattering them just like we finished singing to the four corners of the earth. It was keeping his Shabbats and his weekly Shabbats and his yearly Shabbats holy like he said to do it. They got surrounded by other people, and they got deceived into thinking they could be like other people. He said, didn't your fathers do the same thing? What's he standing up against them for? Buying and selling on the Shabbat, doing what they want to do on the Shabbat. Right? This is what
right?
He said, isn't this what your forefathers did? And did not our Elohim bring all this raw or evil upon us? Aren't we over here in America and the Caribbean and everywhere because of that?
Right.
And upon this city, he said, yet ye bring more wrath upon Yisrael by doing the same thing. Profaning the Shabbat. And the Ruach said last night, you have people working on the Shabbat just like, hey, Yahweh knows my heart, Yahweh knows my heart.
Yeah,
and as Iyshshah said, Yahweh knows you're stubborn, rebellious.
Y'all right,
for those of us that are serving Yahweh, let people call you a Pharisee. You just serve Yahweh like Yahweh said. You just be that straight arrow that Yahweh said, and then Yahweh will be pleased with you.
Yes.
And everything will turn out all right.
That's all that matters.
And then if I didn't love you, I wouldn't tell you. I'd just let you go ahead and do what's all right to do.
Tripped off.
All right. We're in Nehemiah 13, skip down to verse 19. We're at verse 19. Let's read verse 19, please.
And it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Sabbath, I commanded that the gates should be shut and charged, that they should not be opened till after the Sabbath. And some of my servants set I at the gates, that there should no longer be walked in on the Sabbath, day.
All right, should no burden be brought in.
Oh.
All right. So, not only did he tell them, you're profaning the Shabbat. Now here's a man of Yahweh, and I just had a vision of some men of Yahweh that were by the door, and the Ruach used the example last night, but Yahweh just showed me the vision where the brothers were by the door, and there was some people that came in with their bucket and with their little squeegee thing, and they asked could they wash the windows at the temple.
Okay.
And the brothers told them, oh no, they didn't even let them in the door. They just, when they saw them coming in, they went to the door and stopped them. They said, come back another day, but we can't let you do that on the
Praise
Shabbat.
Yahweh.
He said, we can't even let you do it for free.
Right.
Because we can't pay you, not on the Shabbat. So that was them shining a light into these men's eyes, letting them know, okay, there's something different about it.
Right. Praise
What are
the
they
mighty
talking
God.
about the Shabbat? What's going on? So here in the Kimya, he told them, so it said it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Shabbat, I saw that the gates should be shut. Don't even leave them open.
Right.
And charged that they should not be open till after the Shabbat. It's like, don't lay your purse with it hanging open and your wallet right there with your money hanging out. Okay? Close up your purse and kind of keep it close to yourself. Don't.
Right.
So he's saying, shut the door. Don't even leave the door open, because people are in training. They're learning how to be right. They're correcting what's wrong.
Right.
All right? And there are people that want to correct what's wrong.
Hallelujah.
He said, and charged that it should not be open until after the Shabbat. And he put some of his Ebed, which was Yahweh's people, the ones that understood, hey, nobody's going to come in here buying or selling on Shabbat, because this is Yahweh's Torah.
Hallelujah.
We're going to enforce Yahweh's Torah.
All right.
And some of my Ebed said I at the gate said there should be no burden brought in on the Shabbat Yom.
Okay.
So whoever Israel or whatever stranger was planning to bring in a burden on the Shabbat, see, we were in our own land then.
Right.
He said you can't even bring in that burden on the Shabbat, because I got Yahweh's servants at the door and they're going to stop you.
Right.
All right. So there's some times where we have to take some extra measures, like the brother when they come in with the bucket, going to the door and let them know, no, you know, you're going to have to do that another day. All right. Verse 20.
So the merchants and sellers of all kind of ware lodged without Jerusalem once or twice.
So they just stayed outside because they say, hey, Israel gonna buy my stuff. We're used to making lots of money off of Israel because they will spend money.
So like today.
So they had all the stuff outside. They couldn't get in. They said, okay, well, some will sneak out to us. Just like you had some people on the weekly Shabbat where Yahweh said, okay, I'm going to give you twice on the preparation day, the 6th day. And they went out, we saw last night, on the weekly Shabbat. All right? So the merchants and sellers of all kind of ware lodged without Jerusalem once or twice. They didn't want this flow of money cut off.
Right.
All right, verse 21.
Then I testified against them and said unto them, why lodge ye about the wall? If ye do so again, I will lay hands on you. From that time forth came they no more on the Sabbath.
So Nikiman didn't go out there, pleading with him and stuff. He stood up as a man of Yahweh.
Right.
And he said, he testified against them. He went personally out to them and among to them, why lodge ye about the wall? If you do so again, I'm going to lay hold on you.
Okay.
So he didn't say, please don't leave. People not going to know. He said, if you do this again, then I'm going to do some hurt. That's right. From that time forth came they no more on the Shabbat. They saw that there were some people that were serious. They might not have understood it. It's not up to you to make them understand. It's up for you to understand.
That's it.
You tell other people.
Right.
Then you do it.
That's it.
Don't be taking a consensus like, okay, everybody else is doing this, so I'm going to go do that. Don't do that. You'll be in consensus in the lake of fire.
That's right.
Verse 22.
And I commanded the Levites that they should cleanse themselves, and that they should come and keep the gates to sanctify the Sabbath day. Remember me, O my Elohim, concerning this also, and spare me according to the greatness of thy mercy.
Praise
Yahweh. He said, and I saw the Levites that they should cleanse themselves, why? To prepare for the Shabbat, and that they should come and Shema or keep the gates. So, okay, now the people are in training now, they understand, okay, don't let these people buy or sell, don't even let them stay outside the gates of Jerusalem. Now, he can set some other people besides the men of Yahweh that already, you know, had this thing under their belt and that were doing it. And again, you can't get anything under your belt that you don't do. You can talk about it a lot, but if you don't do it, you just can't get a hold of it. He said, and let them keep the gates to sanctify Shabbat Yowm. If we don't sanctify it as Yahweh's people, who's going to sanctify it?
Nobody.
If I go to the beauty shop and get my hair braided and done, why do I think the stranger out here that doesn't know Yahweh is going to do that? They're not. Remember me, O my Elohim, concerning this also, and spare me according to the greatness of thy Hasid. Let's go to Old Testament, Yahshua, the 4th chapter. So the preparation day, that's Joshua, the 4th chapter. The preparation day is for taking care of all of my personal and professional business. All of mine now. Not Yahweh's, all of mine. But you won't see me going down to Best Buy to buy any computer equipment for Yahweh on the Shabbat. Because I understand, even though it's Yahweh's business, I have no business being in there.
It was a preparation
at Best Buy on the Shabbat buying anything. Why? Because I don't need a computer on the Shabbat to do what Yahweh has called me to do. Joshua, the 4th chapter. So the preparation day is for taking care of all of my personal and my professional business. That is not something I'm supposed to do on the Shabbat. You set aside the preparation day.
Tell it like it is.
Joshua 4, and let's start at verse 1, please.
Hallelujah.
It came to pass, when all the people were clean, passed over Jordan, and Yahweh spake unto Joshua, saying,
verse 2.
Take you 12 men out of the people, out of every tribe, man.
All right. Yes, verse 3.
And command ye them, saying, Take you hence out of the midst of Jordan, out of the place where the priest's feet stood firm, 12 stones, and ye shall carry them over with you, and leave them in the lodging place where ye shall lodge this night. So
Yahweh told Yahshua to do this, and it's going to be a marker. He's kind of setting up an altar to remind the children of Israel what they had done and how they had come over Jordan. And he's saying, and command or sabah them, saying, take you hence of the midst of Jordan, out of the place where HaKohan's feet stood firm, 12 stones, and you shall carry them over with you, and leave them in the lodging place, where they shall stay or lodge all night. Let's read verse 4.
Then Joshua called the 12 men whom he had prepared of the children of Israel, out of every tribe.
Now this was Yahweh's business, but it said then Yahshua called the 12 Adam whom he had prepared. They weren't doing this on the Shabbat. They were already prepared.
Preparation.
So Yahshua prepared them of our band of Israel, out of every man a tribe. All right, let's go to 1 Chronicles in the Old Testament. 1 Chronicles, so preparation day is for taking care of. So your business becomes Yahweh's business, but again, there are things on the preparation day, even if it's for Yahweh, Yahweh saying, do it on the preparation day. Don't do it on the Shabbat.
That's right.
1 Chronicles, the 12th chapter. We're going to start at verse 38.
Hallelujah.
1 Chronicles, 12th chapter. And
all these men of war that could keep rank came with a perfect heart to Hebron to make David king over all Israel, and over the rest also of Israel were of one heart to make David king.
Verse 39.
And there they were with David 3 days, eating and drinking for their breathing, and prepared for them.
It says there they were with David 3 Yom, eating and drinking for their ark had what? Prepared for them.
Preparation.
They weren't doing this on the Shabbat.
No.
Or if they were, it was already prepared for them.
Okay.
All right. We're in Yahshua 4. Let's skip down to verse 12. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we want to go back to Yahshua 4th chapter. Oh,
Praise somebody, yeah.
Yeah. Go to Joshua 4th chapter. Go back to Joshua 4th chapter. Yes, I'm sorry, my sister. Go back to Joshua 4th chapter. And we want to start at verse 12.
Hallelujah.
It's just about preparation. You got to get ready.
Right.
Joshua 4 and verse 12.
Praise Yahweh.
And the children of Reuben, and the children of Gad, and Gad, the tribe of Messiah, passed over Aaron before the children of Israel, as Moses spake unto them.
13.
And 40,000 prepared for war, passed over before Yahweh into battle to the plains of Jericho.
All right, it says, and the Haban of Reuben, Haban of God, and half the tribe of Manasseh passed over armed before Haban of Israel, as Moshe amar unto them. About 40,000 prepared.
Preparation.
They didn't prepare on the Shabbat day or the holiday. Prepared for war, passed over before Yahweh unto battle to the plains of Jericho. All right, let's go in the Old Testament to 1 Chronicles, again, the 22nd chapter. So even though this is Yahweh's business, they prepared it ahead of time.
Y'all right. Y'all right, Ron. So they have to know.
First Chronicles,
Tell it like it is.
22nd chapter. And we want to start actually at verse 1. First Chronicles 22. And let's read verse 1, please.
Praise Yahweh.
Then David said, This is the house of Yahweh Elohim, and this is the altar of the burnt offerings for Israel.
All right, verse 2.
And David commanded to gather together the strangers that were in the land of Israel, and he set masons to hew wrought stone to build the house of Elohim.
So what is he getting ready to do? He's getting ready. He
Preparation.
wanted to build a temple for Yahweh.
Preparing.
And we understand from reading the word that Yahweh, after he had gathered all this stuff, told him, no, you're not going to build it. Your son is going to build it.
Okay.
But he wasn't going out on the Shabbat having these people do this. He got everything together. He prepared. So when it was time for Shelomah to build the temple, which he did not do on the Shabbat, Shabbat, he did it the 6 days that Yahweh gave us to labor. It says, Then David Amar, this is Habayit of Yahweh Elohim, and this is the altar of the burnt offerings for Yisrael. And David Sabbath to gather together the strangers that were in the land of Yisrael, and he set masons to hew wrought stones to build Habayit of Elohim. Now, you are just quicker than me. You have another doctrine out here thinking that I can call somebody in off the street, right, and they can come and turn my stove on Shabbat. Number one, Yahweh going to show us you're not supposed to kindle a fire on the Shabbat. Number two, that's illegal. I can't have somebody come into the temple or go anywhere else and do anything that Yahweh said not to do.
Right.
David had strangers hewing these stones. He didn't have them doing it on the Shabbat.
All right.
Why? Because he understood, and he was a righteous man, just like Nehemiah, just like we are.
Hallelujah.
So we don't have people doing things on the Shabbat that Yahweh told us not to do.
Right.
Because if we have them do it, we're conspirator, we're cohort with them.
Right,
it's the same difference as us doing it.
That's right, having them break
We
the Torah.
equally share the guilt.
Right.
All right, verse 3.
And David prepared iron in abundance for the nails for the doors of the gates, and for the joints and brass in abundance without weight.
He's preparing. Verse 4.
Also cedar trees in abundance for the Zidonians, and they of Travi brought much cedar wood to David.
Said also cedar trees in abundance for the Zidonians, and they of Tyre brought much cedar wood to David. He commissioned with him. He said, okay, you know what, you reach out to him. There's one king, Hiram, and he said, I need these for a project that I'm doing.
Right.
So let's, transact business and see what I can get these trees for. He wasn't doing it on the Shabbat. All right, verse 5.
And David said, Solomon my son is young, and lender, and the house that is to be built for Yahweh must be exceedingly magical of fame and of glory throughout all countries. I will therefore now make preparation for it. So David prepared abundantly before his death.
All right, so and David Amar, Shelomah, my bond, he was young. He said, and tender. In other words, he was a child.
Okay.
And Habayat, that is to be builded for Yahweh, must be exceeding magnificent or magnificent.
Yes.
And we can read about it how Queen of Sheba came because she said, I heard it was magnifical. I heard it was wondrous. And then she saw. He said, of fame and of kabod throughout all countries.
Okay.
So for Yahweh, it's only the best.
That's it.
He said, I will therefore now make preparation for it. So David prepared abundantly before his Mavet. That's what we do. It's not like we're preparing and then, well, see, I may not get to see this, so I'm only going to do this and then don't know.
Right.
Men and women of Yahweh prepare abundantly, and they do exceeding abundantly because the word of Yahweh is going on.
Continuously.
All right, so let's go back. Let's go to 2 Chronicles, the 3rd chapter. It's in the Old Testament, 2 Chronicles, the 3rd chapter. So he prepared abundantly before his death. Why? Because Yahweh told him, look, I want a house built. And he didn't realize he wasn't going to be the one to build it till Yahweh told him later.
Right.
No, the one that comes out of your loins, he's going to be the one to build it. All right, 2 Chronicles, the 3rd chapter. And we actually want to read verse 1.
Hallelujah.
2 Chronicles, the 3rd chapter. Let's read verse 1, please.
Now these were the sons of David.
2 Chronicles, the 3rd chapter. I'm going to read it. Then Shelomah began to build Habayat of Yahweh at Jerusalem in Mount Moriah, where Yahweh appeared unto David his Abba, in the place where David had prepared. He prepared it, remember, before he died.
Right.
In the threshing floor of Ornan, the Jebusite. All right, we're in 2 Chronicles. Go to the 29th chapter. Shelomah began to build.
Okay.
All right, so he's carrying out, and he wasn't doing it on the Shabbat day or a high day.
Nope.
He was doing it just like his Abba did it. Those 6 days that Yahweh gave him to labor. 2 Chronicles 29. We want to start at verse 16. Please. 2 Chronicles 29, verse 16 reads.
And the priest went.
2 Chronicles 29, verse 16. Okay, so now maybe I messed up. Let me read that myself. All right, 2 Chronicles, and I'm not sure, maybe it's 1 Chronicles. But either way, let me read this. Okay, verse 16. O Yahweh our Elohim, all this store that we are prepared to build thee a bayit or house for thy Kadash Shem, a holy name, cometh of thine hand, is all thine own. Verse 17. Now they began on the 1st day of the 1st month to sanctify, and on the 8th day of the month came they to the porch of Yahweh. So they sanctified the house of Yahweh in 8 days. And in the 16th day of the first month, they made an end. Verse 18. Then they went in to Hezekiah, Hamelech, the king, and Amar. We have cleansed all Habait of Yahweh, and the altar of burnt offering, with all the vessels thereof, and the showbread table, with all the vessels thereof. Verse 19. Moreover, all the vessels which King Ahaz in his reign did cast away in his transgression, have we prepared and sanctified. And behold, they are before the altar of Yahweh. All right, let's read verse 31, please, in this same chapter.
Then Hezekiah answered and said, Now ye have consecrated yourselves unto Yahweh. Come near and bring sacrifices and thank offerings into the house of Yahweh. And the congregation brought in sacrifices and thank offerings, and as many as were of a free heart burnt offerings.
All right, said, then Hezekiah answered and said, Now ye have consecrated yourselves unto Yahweh. So again, we have to get ourselves ready to come meet with Yahweh. Come near and bring sacrifices and total offerings unto Habait of Yahweh. And the congregation brought in sacrifices and total offerings, and as many as were of a free pay, burnt offerings. Okay, skip down to verse 36.
And Hezekiah rejoiced, and all the people that Elohim had prepared the people, for the thing was done suddenly.
All right, it says, and Hezekiah rejoiced, or Samak, and all Ha'am that Elohim had prepared the people. Again, not without their cooperation. Had prepared Ha'am or the people, for the thing was done suddenly. So there are things that need to be done suddenly, but it still requires preparation.
Yes, it does.
And it's still not permitted to, well, we had given that example on the Layil part of the Shabbat, that there was a yoke fellow that had car problems, and it happened on the Shabbat. And their car stopped. So we were done with the regular service and everything. And then we got the call. So then we went, because that was something that was unforeseen. It was suddenly. So if they had a flat tire, then if Yahweh had some people here that could help them repair it, then they could have done that. So we went, and everything turned out all right for them.
Hallelujah.
All right, so let's go in the Old Testament to Exodus, the 16th chapter. So the preparation day is for cooking our food.
That right?
We have food back there, and it's already been cooked.
Right.
And we've had some people, guests that came, and they didn't understand that we did everything on the preparation day. And we had some chicken, and we had some other stuff. And then, all of a sudden, we got a microwave back there, and we heard the microwave, and then, whoa, ho! And then this one sister's like, oh, what happened? What did I do? And they went back there, and, that's just one example. We had several people, and they, went back and explained. It's like, oh, no, we don't use the microwave on the Shabbat.
Praise Yahweh.
We cooked our food on the preparation day. If you don't like cold chicken, then don't eat it. Eat some cereal or something. All right? Because we cannot allow you to heat it up.
Break the Shabbat.
Exodus 16, and let's start reading at verse 22, please.
Hallelujah.
Exodus 16, and verse 22.
And it came to pass that on the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for one man. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses.
All right, so here Yahweh again is reiterating the preparation day. We got twice as much on the Shabbat.
All right.
All right, now in verse 23, he lets us know more about it. Let's read 23.
And he said unto them, This is that which Yahweh hath said, Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto Yahweh. Bake that which ye will bake today, and see that ye will sheep, and that which remaineth over lay up for you to be kept until the morning.
So he says unto them, this is that which Yahweh has said. Yahweh now, tomorrow is the Shalom or rest of the Kadash Shabbat unto Yahweh.
Okay.
Bake that which you will bake today, when on the preparation day. And seethe or boil that you will boil, and that which remaineth over lay up for you to be kept until the morning. Do not come in here with a cup of Starbucks coffee because you didn't boil it, not on the Shabbat. Because you did two wrongs. Number one, you bought and sell. Number two, you got somebody working on the Shabbat like a stranger for you. That's the same thing that some other people would do, calling somebody in on the street to turn on this or that Yahweh said don't do. All right. Go to Exodus, same book, the 35th chapter. So he said, bake that which you will bake on the preparation day. As he said, Yahweh gave you 6 days. That has not changed, regardless of what people are trying to say.
Right. The same yesterday, today, and forever.
Exodus 35, starting verse 1.
Praise Yahweh.
And Moses gathered all the congregation of the children of Israel together and said unto them, these are the words which Yahweh hath commanded that ye should do.
So he's saying, now this is Yahweh saying,
okay.
All right, verse 2.
6 days shall work be done, but on the 7th day there shall be to you an holy day, a Sabbath of rest to Yahweh. Whoever doth work therein shall be put to death.
Like the man that picked up 6, verse 3.
Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon the Sabbath day.
All right, he said, all right, 6 Yom shall work be done, but on the 7th Yom there shall 7 be to you a Kadash Yom, a Shabbat of rest to Yahweh. Whosoever doeth any work therein shall be put to my bed. Ye shall kindle no fire. That means I can't do what people call texturizing my food. I can't texturize it without kindling a fire. They say, okay, this is the 21st century, so we can put it in the microwave. That's kindling a fire. You shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon, you do it on the preparation day, on the Shabbat day. And then it's worth noting, you can read the rest of this chapter, that the rest of the chapter records the commandment to wear fringes. But Yahweh has me dealing with another lesson throughout your generations. So we won't, deal with that. Where you wear tzitzits on the borders of your garment. We're in Exodus. Let's go to the 19th chapter. So the preparation day is for having sexual relations with your husband and your wife.
Okay.
Exodus 19.
Husband and wife, y'all.
That's what the preparation day is for. So don't be coming to the temple. And you call yourself, okay, the Shabbat morning we well rested, so we can really get it on the Shabbat. We always said don't do that.
Right.
That's for the preparation day.
That right.
This is holy unto Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Exodus 19, let's read verse 15. Please.
Hallelujah.
And he said unto the people, be ready against the 3rd day. Come not at your wife.
No, he said, okay. When it says come not at your wife, he's saying don't know. Husband and wife don't know each other.
All right.
Do not be intimate with each other.
All right.
Physically. And this is right before they were getting ready to meet Yahweh. Yahweh gave them 3 days.
Hallelujah.
And he said unto them, I am, be ready. This is how you be ready. And he said for the weekly Shabbat and for all of Yahweh's Kadesh Yom, his holy days. Be ready against the 3rd Yom. Come not at your Iyshshah. So he's saying, husband, you're the head of the household.
Right.
So if your Iyshshah comes to you, Iysh, you're the head of the household. Husbands.
Right.
So if your Iyshshah comes to you, pressuring you, take her to the scripture and show her, look, Yahweh said,
thus says Yahweh.
Before or after.
That right.
Because sometimes our flesh can want to do
Oh, yeah.
And I'm talking to, I don't know how we got on the conversation, but this person going to tell me that these people that claim that they're you said that one man said he puts a sheet over his wife on the Shabbat. So then he didn't say it, but then he can profane Yahweh's Shabbat.
Oh, no.
And do evil on it. But put a sheet over or what?
Deceive.
But this is how, you know, in our fleshly mind,
Right.
we come up with some real good stuff. Let's go to Leviticus, the 15th chapter. It sounds good to us,
Right.
but spiritually,
Right.
then Yahweh helps us to
Hallelujah.
Leviticus, which is in the Old Testament, the 15th chapter.
Praise mighty God.
Now, we have always read in Yeshayahu, Isaiah, the 58th chapter, verse 13, where it says, if you turn away your foot from the Shabbat,
Okay.
from doing your pleasure
Uh-huh.
on my Kadash Yom, a holy day, and call the Shabbat a delight.
Yes.
Now, this same brother who was trying to tell me that was saying that it's not a pleasure. And I'm thinking you got the wrong one.
I know, right?
So, I just listened.
Right. That's all.
Because, you know,
We living and learning.
right. Yep. But Yahweh said from doing your pleasure. So,
That right?
like I said, if you're not you're in a relationship, Yahweh said marriage is honorable, and if it's not pleasurable, then that's something y'all need to put, on the altar to Yahweh, so he can help you out.
That right.
Because it's supposed to be.
That right? Thus says Yahweh.
Legally, it is.
Yeah.
Leviticus 15, and let's start at verse 19. Please.
Hallelujah.
Now, this is another thing that Yahweh said is forbidden. Not only on the weekly and yearly Shabbats, or when you're coming together to do something for Yahweh. This is forbidden, period.
Okay.
Between when the woman, a certain thing is going on with her.
Okay.
We are forbidden to have relations with our husbands. Let's start at verse 19, please.
And if a woman have an issue, and her issue in her flesh be blood, she shall be put apart 7 days, and whosoever touch her shall be unclean until the evening.
All right, so now this is talking about the monthly rhythm that we women have. It says, if a Iyshshah have an issue, and her issue in her flesh be dam, she shall be put away 7 yom, and whosoever touches her shall be unclean until the even. So we have to even be careful about different things that we do. All right, verse 20.
And everything that she left upon in her separation shall be unclean. Everything also that she sitteth upon shall be unclean.
All right, skip down to verse 24.
And if any man lie with her at all, and her flowers be upon him, he shall be unclean 7 days, and all the bed whereon he liveth shall be unclean.
All right, it says that if any Adam, husband or not, lieth with her at all while she's on her monthly rhythm, and her flowers, that's what it's talking about,
Right.
be upon him, he shall be unclean 7 yom, and all the bed wherein he lieth shall be unclean. Well, Yahweh said that the marriage bed is to be undefiled. All right, so we need to have some wisdom about how not to defile the marriage bed. All right, we're in Leviticus. Let's go to the 10th chapter. So on the preparation day, we do not drink alcoholic beverages too close to the meeting with Yahweh, so that we still have a buzz or we smell like alcohol at the meeting.
All right. Y'all right,
That's out of
like
order.
it is.
We don't do that.
Right.
Leviticus, the 10th chapter, and let's start at verse 8, please.
Hallelujah.
And Yahweh spake upon Aaron, saying,
9.
Do not drink wine, nor strong drink, thou nor thy son, with thee when ye go unto the tabernacle of the congregation. Lest ye die. It shall be a salute forever throughout your generation.
Okay.
All right, and Yahweh Amar unto Aharon Amar, do not drink yain, a strong drink, you nor your bond, your son with you, when you go into the tabernacle of the congregation, talking about the temple, lest you die.
That right?
Lest you move. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations. Well, the priesthood changed to Yehuda, but Yahweh's talking to us too.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't tell ourselves, well, you know what? I don't know whether I'm of the tribe of Levi or whatever. Don't come up in the temples. We've had some temples in certain neighborhoods, and it's sad.
Yeah.
They had, young, Shemites who didn't know they were Shemites come in, and they're all drunk and stuff and inebriated. But the good thing about it, there were two of them when we were on 43rd Street, and they would come in and listen to the lesson, and they wouldn't disturb because they wanted some money. But I mean, you just smell the alcohol because they were drinking on the Shabbat. Well, what did they know about the Shabbat?
Right.
But Yahweh said, don't do that when you're getting ready to come to the temple.
Right.
Yahweh's supposed to be your buzz. You don't need that natural.
Right. Praise to mighty God.
All right, verse 10.
And that ye may put difference between holy and unholy, and between unclean and clean.
So we said there's a difference between Kadash or holy and unholy.
Hallelujah.
That's what unholy people do.
Y'all right.
Somebody staggers in here and they're inebriated.
Okay.
You shouldn't expect them to be Israel and know anything about Israel.
Right.
Let's go to the New Testament, to Mark. This is probably going to be the last scripture. Mark, the 3rd chapter. And now there are things, as Ruach had given an example about when somebody's car stopped on the Shabbat and they needed help. So now here's something that can be done on the preparation day and on the Shabbat when it comes up and it's something that's unexpected, and plus when it's something that's good.
That right?
So healing can be done on the Shabbat day because it does not violate the Shabbat. Mark 3, let's start at verse 1.
Hallelujah.
And he entered again unto the synagogue, and there was a man there which had a withered hand.
Verse 2.
And they watched him whether he would heal him on the Sabbath day, that they might accuse him.
So you see, obviously they don't understand what the preparation day is for and what the preparation day is not for.